Hello, dreamers. Come in. Settle deep beneath your blanket. Let the day slip softly behind you, like a boat untying from its dock. Tonight, we'll drift through starlight, across the hush of unseen waters, to a place that doesn't appear on any map. This is the story of a houseboat that floats not just across rivers or lakes, but between quiet worlds, each more peaceful than the last. Let's climb aboard now. The water is still. The night is waiting. The Houseboat of Dreams. You first notice the water before anything else. Not its shape, not its shimmer, just the hush of it. A silence too complete to be empty, the kind that listens back. Then comes the mist, cool against your ankles, curling low like a cat that has decided to trust you. You glance around. The trees are behind you now, though you don't remember stepping out of them. A wooden dock stretches into the fog. Funny, you don't remember that being there before. And at the end of the dock, a small boat floats motionless. A houseboat. Its wood is soft and weathered, the kind of gray that only comes from years of persistent sailing. Like driftwood kissed by time and tide, it carries the softness of something that has let go of every sharp edge it once had. The boards don't shine, they glow. Gently, as if the boat remembers sunlight from another time. Along the roofline, small lanterns sway on curved brass hooks. Some are shaped like teardrops, others like curled leaves, each casting a pool of light just large enough to warm a breath of mist. They move with a breeze you cannot feel, a rhythm that matches neither the wind nor the water, but something deeper. The slow heartbeat of the boat itself. You see no oar. You see no rope. You see no figure at the helm. Only a warm glow in its windows, and a name painted in worn silver across the bow. The Gentle Current. You like that name for a boat. The moment you see it, something in you exhales, not with breath, with memory. You didn't call for it. You weren't searching. But it came all the same. You step onto the dock and it doesn't creak. Not because it is silent, but because it is welcoming. You walk slowly, your footsteps muffled against the worn wood. The dock sways ever so slightly beneath you, just enough to remind you that water lies below. Mist curls gently along the edges, catching the lantern light in soft halos, and with each step, the quiet deepens. Not empty, but expectant, as if the night is holding its breath. At the boat's edge, your hand lifts to knock, but the door opens before your fingers reach the wood. Slowly, gently, like it's known you were coming all along. Inside, the air is warm and softly scented, a blend of cedar and clove, steam and sleep. Light filters in from the lanterns outside, casting gentle reflections across curved seafoam walls. A kettle sits on the stovetop, just beginning to murmur. A small plate of shortbread waits nearby. Lemon, lavender, and cinnamon. Slippers wait beneath a velvet bench, and when you slide your feet into them, they feel not new, but familiar, as though they remember you. You breathe in deeply. The sigh that follows is the first unguarded thing you've done in days. The front of the boat, a rounded room, opens like a seashell. Cushions are heaped along curved couches, the upholstery soft as moss, colored like fog and faded lilac. Some of the pillows are stitched with constellations. Others have threadbare patches that suggest long histories of comfort. The hearth in the corner is glowing, not blazing, not cold, just enough. The fire there doesn't crackle, it breathes, each flicker slow and steady like a lullaby made of light. You sink into the cushions and feel the stillness settle into your shoulders. It is not the stillness of nothing. It is the stillness of safety. On a low table nearby, there's a teapot, a small bowl of sugared herbs, and a neat stack of velvet-colored books tied gently with twine. Some are blank. Some hold only 1 or 2 lines. One lies open, a phrase scrawled in looping script. You are welcome here. You run your fingers over the words and they seem to hum, not out loud, but inside you. The boat dips slightly with the water's rhythm, a hush, a sway, a hush again. There is no engine, but you know without knowing how. The houseboat has begun to move. Just then, you catch sight of a hallway leading away from the main room, almost hidden in the quiet. The floorboards run from beneath your feet down the hall, a natural shade of deep brown, the walls a soft shade of cream. Gentle light pools along the baseboards, just enough to guide you forward without breaking the calm. And then you notice It's longer than it should be. You pause and then look again. It's much longer than it should be. The boat looked small from the outside, cozy even, but the hallway stretches on, its gentle curve disappearing out of sight. You take a few steps, half expecting to reach the end quickly, but the path continues. It doesn't feel strange exactly, just quietly impossible, the way dreams often are. You keep walking anyway. Doors line the hall. None are labeled. None are locked. One is painted the soft yellow of chamomile flowers with a handle shaped like a leaf. Another is carved with stars and vines. One hums gently when you're near it, like a song with no melody. You reach out, not choosing, simply allowing. A door opens. Inside, the room is filled with clouds. Not the heavy storm kind, the soft kind, warm and weightless, like breath on a cold morning. You float without effort. The ceiling glows with shifting light like a sunrise seen through closed eyes. The scent of vanilla and clean rain curls around you. You don't wonder how it's possible. You don't need to. You drift. You exhale. You rest. And time dissolves. Later, or earlier, it's hard to say, another door opens. You find yourself in a cavern of glowing stones. The walls pulse softly as if they are breathing too. You sit and let the rhythm guide your own. The ground hums beneath you like a lullaby with no words. You feel small, but in a way that's right, like being held by the earth itself. In the next room, you find snowfall. Not cold, not sharp, just cool enough to hush your skin. The flakes spiral lazily down from a sky you cannot see. They melt before they land. You walk slowly, arms outstretched, and feel them kiss your cheek, your shoulders, your palms. You smile without meaning to. In another room, you find a forest inside, dappled in starlight, thick with velvety grass, moss that hushes even your thoughts. You walk barefoot, no path needed. At the center, a single silver-leafed tree leans over a wooden swing. It creaks once, gently, as if to say, "You may sit." So you do, and the stillness sits with you. One door opens into a train car, empty, warmly lit, windows wide to a twilight countryside that looks as though it never ends. You sit by the window, your legs curled beneath you, and watch fireflies drift past like stars that forgot how to stay still. The train rocks. The seat breathes. You almost hum, but there is no need. In another, a hill beneath a sky of slow stars, the ground beneath your hand is warm. You lie down. The stars blink slowly. You blink back. Some rooms are simpler. A kitchen at midnight, cocoa waiting, a record playing something you almost remember. Window seat with a soft blanket and rain-speckled view. A sunroom full of sleeping cats, curled on cushions and woven baskets, the air warm and full of gentle purring. A library with low shelves and overstuffed chairs where every book opens to exactly the page you didn't know you needed. A greenhouse lit by moonlight, with fogged glass panes and tiny glass bottles catching droplets from the leaves. A laundry room at dusk with warm folded towels, the scent of lavender soap, and the slow turn of an old dryer. A quiet porch in early spring, rain pattering on the roof, a rocking chair gently swaying beside a chipped mug still warm with tea. You do not choose the rooms. They choose you. Not for what you want, but for what you need. But for what you need. Sometimes you notice signs of others. Not loud ones, nothing that demands attention, but little traces that tell you you're not the only one who has passed through. A scarf draped over the back of a chair, still holding the faint scent of lavender and stormy weather. A pillow with the smallest indent, as if someone just stood up. Book left open to a page underlined in pencil with a pressed flower marking the margin. A teacup beside the hearth with one last sip still warm. A folded napkin with jam smudged across it. A pair of slippers at the foot of a bed that still holds heat. Nothing ever feels out of place. Only gently shared. As if the boat holds space for more than one dream at a time, letting each one drift without ever touching too closely. You never see them, but you don't feel alone. This place is not for meeting. It is for resting. And somewhere, someone else is doing the same. You're about to head for the door out when you notice a narrow staircase tucked into the corner. Not hidden, just easily missed. The steps are smooth under your hand, carved into a spiral that turns once, then opens onto a small rooftop deck above the cabin. It's quiet here in a new way. Not deeper, just wider. There's a bench nestled into the curve of the railing, half covered by a folded blanket. You sit without thinking much about it, and the blanket slips gently into your lap as if it has been waiting for you to arrive. Above, the sky stretches vast and slow. The stars look closer than they should, clear and quiet and softly blinking. You don't recognize any of the constellations, but somehow they feel familiar. Across the water, you can see the mist glowing faintly where it catches the light. Small reflections drift now and then, flickers of other light, other boats perhaps, or maybe just dreams that have found their own path for the night. You stay there for a long while, breathing, watching, time half sleeping, letting the stillness become something inside you instead of something around you. Eventually, the hush deepens. The sky doesn't change, but the moment does, as if something beneath the boat has shifted, not to wake you, just to call you gently home. You rise. The blanket slides back into place behind you. The stairs welcome your feet just as they did before, guiding you down with the same slow grace. You almost feel as if you are floating now, gently gliding back toward the room where you first entered. You hear only the sound of slow pages turning, a kettle beginning again, and the soft chirp of crickets coming from somewhere off in the distance. Eventually, quietly, gently, you begin to feel it. A change, a beckoning, not urgent, just present. A soft knock. The scent of rosemary. A quiet breeze beneath the door. Looking around, you notice things are different now. The fire has gone out. The kettle has emptied. The mist outside the windows is thicker now, glowing faintly with the blush of early light. There is a shawl wrapped around your shoulders, and something folded into your palm. A note. You read it in a whisper. You didn't need to find the way. You only needed to stop long enough for the way to find you. You read the note once more, letting the words settle. You didn't need to find the way. You only needed to stop long enough for the way to find you. You hold it for a moment longer, then tuck it carefully into your pocket. The air in the cabin feels different, not colder, just finished, like the last page of a book being turned with care. You pause at the hearth, now cold but not empty, and you run your fingers gently along the edge of the mantel. At the little table, you place your hand beside the empty teacup and close your eyes. Just for a breath, just to say thank you. Thank you for the stillness. Thank you for the quiet. Thank you for knowing what you needed before you did. When you open the door, the mist is waiting. You step outside. The boat doesn't creak. You step off. The dock feels steady beneath your feet. You turn back once, not because you need to, but because you want to, and offer the smallest nod of farewell. The boat doesn't drift. It only watches with its soft golden windows and name glimmering faintly on the bow. The boat does not reply. It never needed to. And when you step off the dock, the hush of the water follows you like a blessing. You don't remember leaving. Not really. One moment you are tracing your finger along the spine of a book. The next, you are in your own bed, your own room, your own familiar quiet. And yet, there is dew on your windowsill, a feather in your pocket, a pair of slippers beside your bed that you do not remember owning. As the memories fade like mist off warm water, the feeling stays. Your limbs are soft. Your chest is quiet. You have been held. You have been carried. Somewhere on waters unmapped, the gentle current floats on, waiting not to be called, but to be needed by name, by breath. When the world grows too sharp, when your breath stays shallow too long, when you are ready to stop trying and simply be still, you may find it again. You may feel the mist around your ankles, hear the hush of wood beneath your step, taste the warmth of lavender and lemon on your tongue. You will close your eyes and float.